Welcome back, friends, to the shop. Representing the Midwest today, my friend Ken sent me this awesome hat. No coast. I love that. So there's been some confusion as of late as to who is an East Coast man. Where do you have to live to fall into that, unfortunately, to fall into that category? Well, it's simple. It's my channel. I make the rules, and I say that if you're east of the Mason-Dixon line, you're an East Coast guy. Unless you're Florida. Now, Florida has got its completely own set of crazy. We can get into that at another time, but that is the criteria for East Coast guy. Check it out. Leave it to Ken to come up with another interesting video idea. I have a little pile of stuff that he's sent over the last couple of weeks. I've got a week's worth of video content just covering these interesting things. So, I got to start with this right here. Ken also sent, and tell Sherry thank you with a very nice letter. This is the little knife. This is here, let's get it out here on its own. This is the Gerber Pixie. This is the exact knife that I lost hunting with my granddad. I had a 2-scabbard, remember the old Gerber, the 2-scabbard knife sheath with the A400 and the little Pixie knife. My granddad had the same one, and he found one and sent it to me. And it says right on there, Gerber Pixie. And this is the old one before the armor hide, which is really, really cool. So thank you very much. We might even try to put an edge on that today. I'm very happy to have that back. All right, Ken sent something that's very interesting. Now, of course, I think just like trying to build a better mousetrap, as the same number of resources and effort that has been put towards that has been put towards finding a simple way to put an edge on a knife, right? And how many different ideas, I mean, just on this channel alone, we've probably covered half a dozen or so in the last year. This to me is interesting. So here's what I would like. What would make the perfect knife sharpener? The perfect knife sharpener for me would be this. I'm working in the shop. I'm trying to cut some paper with my pocket knife, and it's dull, and I don't have time. I just want it to be sharp, right? Is there something that I can like take a step over and in 10, 15 seconds, running it through a machine or go through a process where I can have the knife sharp immediately without dragging a bunch of stuff out and power cords and all, you know what I'm saying, right? It's always an event. And I mean, when's the last time you sharpened your wife's kitchen knives? I mean, good grief. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I've got every knife sharpener known to man, and still Mrs. W has to remind me because it's a process, right? It's not set up and it's just not handy. Well, I don't know if that's going to change today, but this is very interesting. This is something I've never seen before. Razor sharp edge making system, and it's just a very simple couple of wheels that mount onto a 6-inch bench grinder. So let's Benchmade. Oh, excuse me. I'm so used to carrying. I know the heresy. I don't carry the 940 anymore. I have found one of my subscribers sent the paramilitary. Is it the 2 or the 3? Whatever it is, it's excellent. It's my new EDC knife. It gives me the fizz. All right, so what do we have here? It says there in big bold letters, read the instructions. So it looks like MDF. I mean, this looks like paper. Are we going to have to really read the instructions? How about we just kind of muddle through it? I mean, we have a course. So this is, let's see, warning, never cut. Okay. Yeah, got it. Cut against it, don't cut into it. That's pretty obvious. So these are 2 wheels. This just looks like MDF, medium density fiberboard. This is the stuff when you go to Home Depot and you want to buy real wood, then you check out the price and you go home with this stuff because it's so much cheaper. It's basically like a paper that's pressed together to make a hard substance. Works fine until it gets wet. It does not like that. So apparently you mount this thing on your grinder, and this is going to replace all sharpening systems. Otter Drive, well, it's California. I don't know. So I'm not going to get bogged down with the instructions here. I don't have the attention span for it, but essentially what it looks like is don't cut this way. It just so happens I have a underutilized grinder here. I have these cotton polishing compounds or wheels on here. This one's all burned. I caught it on fire one time. That I don't use that often, to be honest. So if we could what I was going to do was I was going to put a Scotch Brite pad on here just for buffing and polishing. So never find that. There certainly are a lot of instructions in that booklet. Very small print. I'm starting to get excited. If this works, how cool would that be to have something on your bench that's mounted on all the time, ready to go, that you can just turn on and just touch and make your knife sharp. They did go on a bit about the balancing in the instructions, and this is not super balanced. And they said if you run into this, it could be, if you're seated, if you know you're seated well, that your washers, those crush washer deals there, maybe bent a little bit. And that's probably the case. But we're gonna go with it. I don't know if we can get much better than that. They've included 3 different compounds here. There's this yellow one here that is, it's like a hard wax. Feels like a ski wax. There's 180 grit silica carbide, which is for resurfacing the grinding stone, apparently. I don't know how you would get that into the MDF. I guess we'll read on. And then Jeweler's Rouge, which is for the slotted MDF. Oh, I can't be bothered with this. The instructions with the very small print said, put some wax on here. Not too much wax. It's so hard. I mean, how do I even get it out of there? I'm gonna take it out of the cup. That's probably, those cups are for ketchup, not for wax here. It said, don't completely cover it, but it should just be streaky. So I'm kind of alternating back and forth here. The recommended RPMs on that was 3,000. That was the ideal. This is 3,600. I think it's within spec. It's close enough. What knife should we test this on first? My faith is so strong, I'm gonna go with my favorite. So I was just noticing the other day that this is just about in need of some sharpening. We can see here, this is a standard piece of printer paper. I can't get I've used this really heavy. On the push cut, it's not really working very well. But let's take it one step further. A file. We'll pull it across there once. Ooh, man, that's hard. That's hard to take. What did it do, help it? Well, it did not help it. Okay, so this is the rotation here. So we want to go opposite it, right? That seems awkward. That's an awkward position. Not necessarily. I guess I'll get used to it. I was wondering maybe turning the grinder around, but that would put the switch on the other side. I guess I wonder if you could separate it from the base. I would prefer it to rotate this way. Actually, this way I could go like this. That's maybe what we'll have to do. That's going to be way more natural, but we'll plug it in. I got to get some more plugs on that wall. Oh, that's one serious buffer. As a side note, make sure you put your safety glasses on when using this. If you're an East Coast guy, you can just stand behind your fat wife. Let's see, it's got to go this way, right? This is very awkward. This is very coarse too. I mean, not having a bench, anything to stabilize it. So it feels very coarse. Okay, I got a little wire on there. I don't know if this is for beginners here. Okay, well that did very quickly. I mean, that's coarse, that's 180 grit. That did establish that grind on there. Let's, oh, it's noisy. I guess this, I mean, we don't need to go any further than that. I can see that I established that grind on there. For the slotted wheel, they gave us this Jeweler's Rouge. It's got the kind of the radius in there, and they said just start it and just touch it. Okay. Boy, this seems so awkward to me. You know what, guys, in all fairness, I'm not really giving it a chance. I got tripods and light stands and all this stuff around here and I'm trying to work. Let's just do it. Let's go real world here, right? So you've got it on your bench, right? Let's take our knife. I'm going to run it across the file here. right there. Obviously, you heard it. It's not gonna cut very good. How does it work if you're just for the quick and dirty? You got it on your bench, you got it all set up, you want to sharpen your knife really quick. How long does it take? Let's see. All right, come over here to the course. I'm going to put a wire on it. I'm going to come over to the slotted one. And I'll do 3 passes. Two more. I'm not really sure what the angle is. I'm just kind of guessing what seems right. And to be honest with you, if a knife sharpener is going to take much more effort than that, then I really don't want to monkey with it, because I can have the Oregon, what's the other one we did? The little one, the one we did for the giveaway. That one set up on your bench, that's about the same time it takes. Let's see how sharp we got it. Where's the paper at? I can't stop the camera. We'll get accused of improprieties. All right, you saw it. I pulled it across the vise. It wouldn't cut. Pretty good. Yeah, it's sharp. Let's try a shaving test here. Let's get you up close here. Will it shave? Oh man, that is absolutely sharp. Look at that. That is unbelievably sharp. Unbelievably sharp with a little bit of effort. So we probably want to revisit this. I didn't have a lot of time. I got to take Jack to his cross-country practice, but I wanted just to try it out really quick. But what happened? What did we do? I pulled the knife hard across the file, took the edge off of it, and in 4 passes, I do 1 pass on the stone and then 3 passes each side on the slotted disc, and well, you saw how it shaved. I mean, it's rare. I know I keep saying this, that this is the sharpest I've ever got a knife, but here I didn't even know the angles. I wasn't really sure where I was at, and I'm in kind of a hurry. I took my thing over to the bench grinder, and voila, I've got a sharp knife. And I know guys are gonna, oh, what about the angles and this and all? Yeah, I just don't care about the angles. You guys, some of you guys went overboard with the Russian knife sharpener about how when you got to the extreme edge and you were doing math and all this stuff. I mean, I just could not care less about that. I'm not that guy. I don't have that engineering mind. What I want is I want something that works. I want something that I don't have to waste a bunch of time on or read an encyclopedia to learn. Not a lot of setup. If you can take those wheels and you can bolt them onto a Harbor Freight buffing wheel, so what are you going to have? What's this thing cost? 60, I think 60 bucks, 65 bucks for the wheels. Buy yourself a $30 Harbor Freight 6-inch grinder, bolt it on or clamp it onto your bench, and what are you sharpening with this? You're sharpening everything. Am I sharpening axes with this? Most likely, because here's the reality of it is it's set up. It's plugged in, right? I'm not taking stuff out of boxes. I'm not messing around. When I think about it, I can take 2 steps over to the edge of the shop, or to the bench, I can sharpen it, I can move on, and don't have to worry about it. So, I mean, and that's coming from a guy that's never used it before, that doesn't have a clue. So, yeah, once I kind of got myself a little bit of room and stopped whinging about all the tripods, it actually worked pretty good. But that's impressive. I think we should revisit that. What would you like to see, try to sharpen on that? What would be the ultimate test? Maybe we'll touch upon that again, but I'm pretty impressed. How well is it going to hold up being paper in a damp shop? Not so good, probably. I probably have to relocate it over to the woodworking shop that I keep heated, because this is a pole barn, and it essentially rains in here sometimes when the humidity is high. So yeah, it's pretty good. Very interesting. Thank you, Ken. That's a fascinating thing. I think Ken sent that. I'm pretty sure. If it wasn't you, Ken, if Ken didn't send it, someone else sent it, let me know, and I'll give credit where credit's due, but I think Ken probably did send that, so. Amazing. I'm a fan. I just don't know about its durability and longevity being made out of MDF, but I guess if it's in a dry area, that will be good. So thanks for watching. Keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you guys on the next video.